Hello, my name is Kirsten Moore, and I am the chef and owner here at Amuse-Bouche Restaurant and Catering in Surprise, Arizona. As the chef here at Amuse-Bouche, I'm in charge of setting the menus and coming up with the recipes and doing a lot of the cooking, as well as managing the business, which a restaurant and catering. So there's working with customers, of course. So it is both my husband and I that own the business. As I said, we met in culinary school. Our cutting boards were next to each other. And my husband is Israeli. So coming over here, it was a big difference for him to come from the metric system to the American or English standard, and having to learn conversions, and being trained myself in Paris, going to the metric system, having to learn both sides. And these days we use mainly the metric, but as you know, a lot of recipes are in the American standard. Until now, I hadn't really thought about how much I use math in my position. It may not be the most complex math, but it's truly surprising to me if I sit and think about all the ways I use math. And that goes from recipes to weights and measurements, to conversions, to temperature. I use it in my ordering here to bring in supplies and ingredients, as well as determining the portion sizes for meals for customers coming in. Catering, we have to multiply those recipes in order to feed more people. And that spans all the way to, the food costing, because at the end of the day, we love being a chef and we love making our customers happy, but truly we are a business that we need to support other people and make payroll, and we need to find some profit at the end of the day for ourselves to support our family. So there's the front of the house aspect as well. So I'd say the most prevalent way, though, that we're using math is in our recipes. Understanding the weights and measures. Again, I touched on the metric system versus the American standard. We still do a lot of American standard here, but you need to know that there are 16 ounces in a pound. When we are doing food portioning for the customers, for their dinner, we may put a piece of protein on the plate that's about 6 ounces. And you need to know that there are 16 ounces in a pound, because when we order in our meat, we need to calculate at the end of the day what kind of yield we'll have. So let's say we order 20 pounds of meat. And when you order in 20 pounds of meat, you need to figure that there's going to be some loss on that meat because of the trimming that we'll do to the fat or the bones that we'll remove. And then after cooking, there's some shrinkage as well. So let's say that 20 pounds of meat in actuality may yield you about 16 pounds that you're able to serve to the customer. And if you're giving each customer a 6-ounce portion, you need to calculate 16 ounces and 16 pounds, which is 256 ounces. And that's going to be divided by your 6 ounces that you're going to serve to each customer. So you're going to have roughly 42.6 portions to serve. And that, in fact, will help you determine your costing of what you're going to set your menu prices at. And in the restaurant business, we strive for a 30%, 30%, 30%, 10%, which I'll explain what that means. 30% means will be the cost of food. We'll spend 30% of every dollar that comes in on the cost of food. 30% will go to overhead, and what I mean by overhead is rent and utilities and expenses here. 30% will go to payroll, so paying the employees that work here. And at the end of the day, if you're doing everything right, there'll be about 10% in profit left over, which is very important. So you need to determine your food cost, and in order to set your menu prices, you take your food cost and you'll divide that by about 30%, which is your goal for the percentage of cost of food, and that will tell you how to set your menu price. I think the romance and the dream of being a chef, and certainly the way they advertise it on television with the culinary schools, it is an exciting career. And there's nothing more rewarding than seeing a happy customer. But at the end of the day, you need to make money at this business. And I think that was the most surprising part, that you can have the love you have for cooking, but if you don't have the sense on how to run a business, and this is a business at the end of the day, so it's not just about making people happy, it's about the bottom line as well. So as a kid, I had no idea. Even though the math may not be complex, it's simple. There are percentages, there's conversions, there's temperatures. I wish I would have paid a little closer attention so I didn't have to relearn it when I was an adult.